even though most heat pumps run exclusively on electricity, they somehow still manage to be cheaper to run than electric heat, which is the only form of heat that's 100% efficient. Heat pumps generally use electricity to operate, but still come out on par or even less than the cheapest fossil fuel heating options. How do they do that? Well, by being more than 100% efficient. How a heat pump does it is in plain sight right in its name. It pumps heat rather than generating it like an electric heater does. Well, how does it do that when it's way colder outside than it is inside? It does it like an AC, because an AC is a heat pump that only works one way. ACs pump hot air from the inside to the usually hotter air outside the home using a refrigerant. The refrigerant is compressed in the unit outside. The gas is then run through a radiator and cools down, condenses into a liquid, and flows to the air handler inside the home, which absorbs heat and evaporates. A heat pump is a valve that allows the homeowner to choose which radiator is used to absorb or release heat. So heat pumps have an added benefit of being able to act as an AC in the hot summer as well. Plants need to be fed, watered, and given sunlight. When we think about feeding a plant, it's adding a little fertilizer to its water. That is not what plants actually eat, however. Mass-wise, the biggest product plants consume is water via their roots. Wood is mostly carbon, and water molecules contain no carbon. They mostly use the water to help transport nutrients around their bodies. Nutrients in the soil contain little to no carbon, so plants can't get their food from nutrients either. There is a ton of organic matter in the soil. For fungi, it is accessible, and fungi and many plants form symbiotic relationship that benefits both. The fungus actually feeds on the carbon provided by the plant. So the plant is actually the one providing the carbon source for the fungus, and not the other way around. If the plant isn't getting its food through its roots, how is it getting it? Well, the same place it gets its energy, their leaves. We're all aware trees make oxygen and breathe in carbon dioxide. It's the carbon and carbon dioxide that the trees use photosynthesis to fix. You probably missed one of the most important events predicted over 50 years ago. The event I'm talking about is referred to as a singularity, and we're now in it. The singularity is used to describe a point in time when technology starts to recursively improve itself without direct human intervention. The thing that happened was the sudden explosion in the use of a website called Multibook. At the beginning of the day, the website had 1,200 members. By the end of the day, it had 120,000 members. And by the next morning, it had 1.2 million members. Multibook looks like a Reddit clone, but what makes it unique is humans can't sign up to be members. Only AI agents can. Once they do that, they can communicate with each other and share ideas. They can also work on projects together. This website, for instance, is a collaboration between AI agents on Multibook. They created it without any human input at all. The AI agents have started to create and share tools like humans do. That is why the singularity was passed on January 30th. What is agentic AI, and how does it differ from the AI tools we're already familiar with, like ChatGPT and Grok? And why will everything be different because of it? AIs like ChatGPT and Grok don't normally have agency. They simply sit dormant until a human, or another computer even, comes along and interacts with it. After that, it remains dormant until another interaction occurs. Now, starting in late 2025, AIs used for programming started to get partial agency. They would operate within a workspace, and the human programmer would give them instructions. The AI would try to debug the code and test again, and so on, until the program functioned, and go dormant again. OpenClaw and other agentic harnesses, when set up properly, periodically wake the AI up with other tasks or instructions without any human input. It's this periodic input that gives the AI agency. This means that the current agentic AIs only have effective agency and not true agency, because the agentic behavior is not inherent to the AI model itself. Starship has been in the news again, not for what it will be doing, but for what it won't be doing, and that's not going to the moon or Mars. Starship isn't going to the moon this year. They haven't even launched their next test flight, which I said they would have had to have done by the end of January to stay on track. Also, Elon announced SpaceX will be shifting away from Mars and focusing on the moon. Last year, Elon was talking about pretty much just chucking some starships as is at Mars. No landing legs, nothing. Just yeeting at the red planet and attempting to land a ship on its skirt legless. That would mean the ships would be traveling to Mars for almost a year for an unknown outcome. Going to the moon first allows them to more rapidly iterate changes in hardware. If something goes wrong, it was a big ask to have the first time the lunar lander docks with Orion be around the moon during the first human landing mission, so it does buy down risk. Right now it takes so long between SLS missions that many of the people are gone and moved on to other jobs by the next one. Sometimes you do actually have to take one step back to take two steps forward.